Well, this works a lot better than the X platform's live feed. Anyway, so here we are at 30 hours, 43 minutes. It's nearing completion. It's at 99%. Should be done here shortly. I just wanted to capture the last few moments of printing. This part will go on top of that to hold the motor. Well, on the bottom, really. Something like that. And that's how it's going to be held in the rocket. When I go ahead and print the RC plane, I have to print the main fuselage in 3 pieces, and each piece is going to take roughly a day and like 5 hours. So it's going to be like a 3-day print just for the body of the plane. The wings are a day, the nose is a day. Only thing I have printed for the plane right this second are the tail sections. So that'll be interesting when I get to that. So October is definitely going to be interesting. We have this rocket, which will hopefully fly pretty well. The only thing I'm concerned about this rocket's flight, launch, whatever ability, is I know it'll fly because I've ran it through the rocket sim at least 4 times now, this dimension, everything. And it's a little tricky trying to figure out the motor to put in the simulator because my sugar motor is supposed to imitate that of an H motor. So let's say in a perfect world my sugar motor actually did produce the same 55 to 60 Newton meters of thrust that an H motor has. So I put that in the rocket sim. And if I make this rocket 4 feet long, or 4 feet tall, and it's a 3-inch, if I had an H in it, it would go roughly 2,400 feet, so 2,400 feet roughly. But that's if my sugar motor actually produced the same amount of thrust as a H black powder motor. So it will be interesting. I tried using different motors that I thought would be like closely relatable to mine. And so I did a test to see just to see the least amount of power I can get away with while still lifting this thing. And I was able to get away with a G motor. It was like a G180 or something like that, but that would have been like the lowest amount of thrust able to actually do anything with this rocket, because the velocity off the rod was only like 35 feet a second compared to the H motor's 72 feet a second off it. And plus, if I used lower powered motors, anything lower than an H really, we're only looking at maybe 8 to 1,100 feet, 800 to 1,100, so... I'll be doing a lot more live streams like this when I'll be printing the plane. got a much larger ESC compared to my old one. This will be for the plane. Turns out a reason why my 3D printed EDF wasn't producing as much thrust as it should have for that scale and specifications. So it's not my design, and it's not the fact that it's a 3D printed EDF. The problem is I was pretty much using, because this is the first time I've really gotten into the RC world of airplanes and all that. Well, the batteries I had at the time, and like my 3S and my 2S batteries and the other ESC I had, well, they were all rated for RC trucks and like cars and stuff like that. And that's when I did a little digging around and found out that jets or planes in general take a little bit different hardware. So went ahead and purchased all the necessary hardware. Had to go with an XT60 connector instead of my Dean's connector. That's okay. I just don't have a charger for it, so I'll probably end up having to get that too. But I did get 2 4S batteries, the wheels, and I think one other component should be here soon. Definitely in time, though, for the showcase event. But I'll have this rocket ready to go. I'll have my thrust vectored rocket ready to go, and I'll hopefully have the EDF plane ready to go. So that'll be 3 things that I hope I can get up into the air and back down in one piece. I went ahead and did this with a 10% infill. I was doing like 5% infill there for a while just to get less weight out of these things, but the 5 to 10% difference of infill for weight, at least in my case, it's maybe only a couple, like 20 grams maybe in the whole scheme of things. So I'm not too worried about that. The total weight of the entire rocket should be right around 1.5, 2 pounds. I know that sounds quite a bit, but I'm not going for high altitude flight. The whole purpose of this test flight is to see if I can get this frickin' sugar motor in this rocket launched, recovered, and while keeping the fin can alive, because I know if this motor was actually touching the fin can like they do in my black powdered rockets, we definitely see some warp and melt going on, and I want to be able to remove the motor and not have plastic melted on it. So that's why there's such a large opening at the bottom of this, is trying to give it enough space to where the heat doesn't directly affect the plastic and warp the body. Let's see, Oh, the plane, after running the design, specifications, sizes, all that through an AI, it has been determined that the jet should weigh roughly 1,100 to 1,200 grams. And I know that sounds kind of heavy for a little RC jet, but with the 4S battery, the 80 amp ESC, and my 64 millimeter EDF, it should theoretically, according to a bunch of oh, and there we go. Well, oh, I'll have to get that out another time. It really does not like to come out. And that would be 30 hours and 53 minutes. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have the K&S fin cam. Just see if that pulls out. Ooh. Oh yeah, no, that's in there. That's in there real good. Okay. I shall get this thing cleaned up, and I'll talk to you all later.